There he is, your big bad, cloaked in mystery, voice like gravel, eyes like a void, and your players don't give a damn. Let's be honest, most D&D villains kinda suck. I should know, I have made plenty of them. One of them got laughed at so hard I didn't even kill him off. I just quietly stopped bringing him up. He went back to the villain retirement home with the other forgotten liches, probably playing cards with a rusted monster who peaked in high school. So let's talk about why your villains might be falling apart, and more importantly, how to fix it. Because when your villain hits, your game levels up across the board. There are 4 types of bad villains. These are the type of villains that have the emotional punch of a cold porridge. The kind of villains that make your players go, wait, who is that again? Even after 3 major plot arcs. Type 1, the evil wallpaper. This is the guy whose entire personality is just destroy everything because he's evil. He's evil because he's evil? No nuance, no reason, just smoke, fire, and villainous laughter. There's no connection to the players, there's no emotional weight, and frankly, the players are more invested in their horse's name than this lad's entire world-ending plan. He's just background noise with a fireball and a grudge. Type 2, the fog monster. You know the one. He's always just out of reach, hidden, mysterious, cloaked in shadows. You hint at him, you drop clues, you show his servants, but after 10 sessions of Scooby-Dooing around, the party just don't care anymore. Because they've never met him, they've never felt his presence, and a mystery with no payoff. It's just noise. Worse, it turns a high-stakes villain into a distant, irrelevant myth. Type 3, the info dump demon. He shows up every 5 sessions to monologue like he's auditioning for a Hamlet. He says things like, mortals, you walk the paths I laid eons ago when the stars were young. Meanwhile, your players are writing punchable face in their notes or seeing how many D6s they can stack during a speech. Type 4, the forgotten BBEG. This guy, he's just gone. You set him up early, tease him in the background, then you forget to reintroduce him for 12 sessions. Now the players care more about the tavern goose with a gambling addiction. Oh well. Alright then, so how do we go from forgotten footnote to I will burn this guy's kingdom to the ground? Let's break it down into 4 major moves and a couple of sneaky extras. Step 1, make it personal. This is a big one. Don't just have your villain destroy a random village. Destroy their village. Don't kill a faceless NPC, kill the NPC the party actually likes. You need an emotional knife twist. Players will forget your villain monologues, but they'll never forget what you did to Kevin the Goblin, their best friend and legal advisor. Personal means emotional, and emotional means memorable. If you do one thing after this video, go to your campaign doc and ask, what did the villain do to the party? If the answer is nothing yet, fix that today. Make it cut deep, let it sting. Don't pull punches, and don't be afraid to make it ugly. It doesn't have to be a death. Maybe the villain turns one of the party's family members against them, or reveals an awful truth about their backstory. Maybe they've saved someone that the party couldn't. Nothing says you matter like screwing up the player's emotional compass. 2, let them win, at least once. Let the villain do something awful and get away with it. Burn down a town, kidnap someone, beat the party in a fight. That kind of power sticks. You want your players to fear the next time this guy shows up. Not because of his stats, but because of what he has done. Now this doesn't mean a TPK, just means you need consequences that last. Lost allies, collateral damage, a price for failure. You want your players walking away from the table saying, that could have gone worse, and I'm afraid it will. Give them the moment where they realize we're not the strongest people in the room right now. It changes everything. It makes the next victory more satisfying and the villain more real. And a pro tip, let the villain win by outsmarting the party, not just outmuscling them. Trick them, outplay them, use information as a weapon. Make them feel like they're not just fighting a stat block, like they're fighting a brain. Number 3, give them a code, not just a goal. A villain that wants to destroy the world? News. A villain that wants to remake it because they believe the gods are corrupt? Now you've got something. The best villains think they're a hero. Give them a moral code that makes sense, and then twist it. Suddenly, your players are arguing, saying things like, he's kinda right. Don't just give your villain a to-do list. Give them a philosophy. Give them principles that sound noble until you realize what they're willing to do in the name of those ideals. Let them explain themselves. Let them believe. Let the party confront them not just in combat, but in ideology. When the villain's logic challenges the party's morals, the table gets quiet, and that's when the role-playing magic begins. Maybe your lawful good cleric starts to have second thoughts. Maybe your rogue agrees with the villain and kinda wants to side with him. That's the drama you can't buy. Number 4, mirror a player. Want to make a villain really stick? Make them a twisted version of one of the party members. Same background, same ideals, but warped. Your rogue wants freedom, the villain wants anarchy. Your paladin wants justice, the villain wants revenge. Your bard wants fame, the villain wants immortality. Now your players are looking at a future version of themselves, a dark path they could go down. That kind of mirroring hits harder than any fireball. Even better, have a villain that knows things that only the PC should know. Give them a shared history, a failed friendship, an abandoned ideal. Now it's not just combat, it's closure, it's confrontation, it's character drama. Okay, like always, story time. One of my starting campaigns had a villain that was basically Voldemort's less interesting cousin. Evil wizard, raised the dead, wore a big cloak, had a skull for a face, and my players treated him like a punchline. They called him Cranium Lad. I tried to speak spooky monologues, they cast silence. I tried minions, they bribed them. It sucked for the villain. I had fun, but, you know, I had no plan beyond he's evil. And it showed. He wasn't a villain, he was a cartoon. But later, I ran the villain named Lyra. She wasn't powerful at first, just a war orphan turned zealot. She believed the gods were fake and the world needed to burn to start fresh. She didn't even attack the players, she converted one of them. The party was split. One of them joined her, another tried to kill him, and when she died they didn't cheer, they argued about what it meant. They debated mortality for a solid 40 minutes. That's how you know you won as a DM. That's the difference. One was a stat block, the other was a person, a presence, a question mark, a threat, and temptation. Bonus round, lightning tips. Villain voice tip. Give your villain one signature line or phrase that they always use. Makes it more memorable fast, even something weird like, the stars remember. Say it 3 times and it sticks. Villain entrance. Never let your villain just show up without leaving a scar. A burning building, a broken NPC, a choice the players regret, no clean exits, no polite goodbyes, just impact. Villain weapon. Give them something cool, unique or cursed, a weapon that whispers, a staff carved from a god's femur, something that says, this person's not like the others. You don't need stats, you just need style. Villain music. Yeah, villain music. Give them a motif. Every time they show up, the theme creeps in. Your players will start sweating when they hear it. Works every time, even when they're not there. Villain quirk. Give them something weird, a habit, a food, a superstition, something that makes them feel real. Maybe they whistle lullabies before combat. Maybe they collect broken mirrors. These things will make them feel alive. Okay, that's enough for the speed round. So does your villain suck? Maybe, but now you know how to fix it. Make it personal, let them win, give them a belief system, mirror your players, and make every encounter cost something. Because the best villains don't just threaten the world, they threaten the party's identity. And when that happens, you've got a story they'll never forget. So, drop your worst villain ideas in the comments below. I want to roast it lovingly. Or, tell me about a villain who actually worked, so I can shamelessly steal it. And hey, if you like this kind of breakdown, hit the button, you know which one. Subscribe, like, send this to your DM or your players. And I'll see you in the next one. And the next time, maybe your villain won't suck.